Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into the thick of it with UAAP Season 87 Esports.
That's right. We're looking at the final results, the big wins.
Yeah, we're pulling from that recent onesports.ph article to really give you the key takeaways. Our goal, basically, cut through the noise, tell you who won, and maybe dig into why it matters.
Exactly. We're talking NBA 2K, VALORANT, and Mobile Legends. Bang, bang. The big three for this season.
And we'll unpack the champions, any surprises, and what really made their wins stand out.
And, well, it probably won't surprise anyone that Ateneo and LaSalle, DLSU, they were pretty dominant figures again this year in the esports scene.
Yeah, that rivalry just carries over, doesn't it? Okay, so let's start with NBA 2K, the virtual court.
Okay.
Ateneo, back-to-back champs, the article confirms. But it wasn't just a win, was it? They went undefeated.
Yeah, completely undefeated. A 5-0 run. I mean, that's saying something in any competition.
For sure. What does that kind of clean sweep tell us?
Yeah.
Just total dominance.
Well, yeah, it points to serious dominance.
Yeah.
An undefeated run like that, it suggests they weren't just winning. They were probably winning convincingly. It hints at, strong strategy, maybe great individual skill, but definitely top-tier team coordination.
Yeah.
A well-oiled machine, basically.
And the finals against UST's Teletigers. A 2-0 sweep there, too. Pretty commanding.
Very commanding, yeah.
The article mentions specific players. Luis Chovellano struck first, then Paul Medina sealed it in Game 2.
Having different players step up like that is huge.
So, what does that suggest?
Well, it means they're not just relying on one star player, right?
Yeah.
Chovellano's in Game 1, Medina in Game 2. It shows depth, adaptability. It means different people can carry the load under pressure, which makes them way harder to play against.
Okay, and here's something that jumped out at me, Medina's quote. He said this year's win was way more satisfying because of the team effort. Yeah. And he specifically shouted out Chovellano's for that Game 1 overtime clutch play. So it's not just about one guy hitting shots.
No, not at all. And that's super important, especially in esports, even in 1v1 or 2v2 formats like 2K can be.
Yeah.
That team-first mentality, that cohesion, knowing your teammate has your back, especially in a thriller like an overtime game, that's often the difference maker. It builds confidence across the whole squad.
Right. And there was another wrinkle that the game mode changed this year to play now.
Oh, yeah, that's a significant change.
But Ateneo still came out on top. What does that adaptability tell you?
It tells me their fundamentals are rock solid. Play now can be less about specific team strategies you practice and more about, pure basketball IQ within the game, player matchups, reacting on the fly.
Gotcha.
So the fact they adapted and still won, undefeated no less, suggests they have a really deep understanding of the game itself, not just mastering one specific mode or build. Strong fundamentals.
Makes sense. And Adamson and DLSU, they filled out the podium for NBA 2K, so good showings there too.
Definitely. Keeps things competitive.
Okay, let's switch gears. Let's talk VALORANT. Tactical shooters. DLSU took this one home again, right? Repeat champs.
Yep, DLSU defended their title, but their journey sounds like it was maybe a bit tougher than Ateneo's in 2K.
Oh, how so?
Well, the finals against FEU, they won. Yeah, but look at the scores mentioned, 13-10, 13-10.
Oh, wow. Okay. Super close.
Exactly. That's not a blowout sweep. That's a real fight. It suggests FEU gave them a serious run for their money, and the VALORANT competition in UAP is, pretty fierce.
And Xavier One was named Finals MVP for DLSU. Sounds like he was clutch.
Apparently so. The article mentions crucial moments, comebacks in both games. In matches that tight, 13-10, having someone who can deliver under that kind of pressure, make those impact plays, that's invaluable. It suggests he's got the skill, obviously, but also the nerve.
Right, the mental game.
Huge factor. Turning rounds around, stopping the other team's momentum.
Yeah.
That's what MVPs often do in those close ones.
And interestingly, Juan also gave props to FEU for the challenge.
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah, and he also felt like everyone on his own team deserved the MVP award, too. Kind of echoes what Medina said for Ateneo, doesn't it?
It really does. That team-first attitude again. You see it popped up a lot in successful teams. Even with standout individual plays, VALORANT especially is so reliant on coordination, communication, trading effective.
Strategy.
Absolutely. So Juan, recognizing the whole team, it points to that strong bond, that shared effort that likely got them through those tight 13-10 games, everyone playing their part.
And for VALORANT, the bronze medals went to UP and Ateneo.
Right, so not just a two-team race at the top there.
Yeah.
Having UP and Ateneo also get podium finishes shows there's good depth in the VALORANT scene across the universities. Multiple strong programs.
Healthy competition. Okay, last one. Mobile Legends. Bang, bang. MLBB. Now, this one feels kind of like a bigger story for DLSU, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They took the championship, but how they did it, that's the key part.
The reverse sweep, right. Against NU, lost the first game, then won the next two.
Exactly. A 2-1 reverse sweep in a best-of-3 final. That takes serious mental toughness.
Yeah, losing game one in a final, that's got to sting. How do you bounce back from that?
It's all about resilience.
Yeah.
You have to shake off the loss immediately, figure out what went wrong, maybe adjust your draft strategy, your game plan, and then execute perfectly under massive pressure for the next 2 games straight. It shows incredible composure and adaptability as a team.
And who are the key players mentioned for that comeback?
Let's see. Gabriel Sanchez on Claude, Ryu Godoy on Kataka, and Aaron Lim on Kimmy. He was the finals MVP.
Kimmy, okay. That's not always an easy hero to play well.
No, she requires really good mechanics and positioning. So Lim stepping up on a high-skilled champion like that in games 2 and 3, that's huge. But, the fact they mentioned Sanchez and Godoy, too, tells you it wasn't just Lim. It was likely about their synergy, setting up plays, team fights.
The whole unit clicking.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Allowing someone like Lim on Kimmy to really shine.
And adding to this whole narrative, DLSU didn't even make the Final Four last season, right? Even though they were apparently favorites.
Yeah, that's a crucial piece of context. Missing out last year, especially when expectations were high, must have been disappointing.
So this win is kind of like redemption.
Absolutely feels like a redemption arc. It shows they learned from whatever went wrong last season. They regrouped, probably worked incredibly hard, and came back to actually take the whole thing. It's a great story of bouncing back from setbacks.
It really is. And FEU and UST, they were the other podium finishers in MLBB.
Right, seeing those names again. FEU and UST showing up on the podium across different games, it suggests they have pretty solid, well-rounded esports programs overall, not just specialists in one title.
Okay, so wrapping things up, quite a season. Ateneo just keeps rolling in NBA 2K. Solid dominance.
Total control there.
DLSU, meanwhile, successfully defends in VALORANT, but they were definitely tested, had to fight for it.
Yeah, much closer contest in VALORANT, showing the competition level there.
And then the big one, perhaps, DLSU's comeback story in MLBB. Taking the crown after falling short last year and doing it with a reverse sweep.
A really significant win for them, showing that resilience.
And across all 3 games, even with the different winners and different paths, that theme of teamwork just kept coming through in what the players said.
It really did. You hear it from Medina in 2K, from Juan in VALORANT, and you see it in the team effort needed for that MLBB reverse sweep. Individual skill matters, of course, but the message seems to be that working as a unit, trusting your teammates, overcoming those pressure moments together, that's what leads to championships.
So this deep dive really gives you a solid picture of where UAAP esports is right now. Intense competition, dedicated student athletes. It's more than just gaming, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. It's strategy, it's teamwork, handling pressure, adapting, all that stuff.
It is. And maybe it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about, too.
Yeah, like how do those classic rivalries we see in traditional UAAP sports, like Ateneo versus LaSalle, how are they translating, maybe even changing in this esports space?
Right. Is it just the same rivalry on a different field, or is something new emerging?
And what do these results, this level of competition and organization, kind of tell us about where collegiate esports is heading? Seems like it's only getting bigger and more significant, wouldn't you say? Something to keep an eye on.